Magic lies in the mind.
Alright guys, so this time we're going to take a different approach to the guide. Instead of what's normal and, me going through showing you this hero's skills, showcasing them, and then, showing you combos, the build, and everything like that, I'm going to do things a little different. I'm going to do a gameplay guide, or a guided gameplay. It's the first time I've done this, so sorry if I'm a little weird on this. The idea is that I'll show you the gameplay, and then I'll tell you my thoughts on how I'm playing Granger as I'm doing the gameplay. If I have anything else to say from other gameplays or anything like that, that will be at the end. Certain things I didn't get to cover in this gameplay specifically. So, of course, everybody knows this guy had a bug. It had to do with a jungle emblem and like spamming the skill 2. He had like 3 dashes or something. It was crazy, but I guess they fixed it now. And so, without further ado, of course I'm not going to, take a hero to ranked without, having at least like 20 or some games on him. In Classic at first, because people will flame me, and apparently you need to show some type of status that you have a good win rate with a hero, because whatever. But win rates in general, I guess, really don't matter. I guess if you have a really high win rate and everything like that, it matters more to you because it makes you feel good, but in reality, it's about your skills in the end. So, the things I'm taking on Granger in this video are the Assassin Emblem, Retribution spell, and I'm also taking, well, a custom build for him. And I say custom because this is the farming mode, and just in case you don't want to take the farming mode, you want to take straight up Purify, you simply just don't buy the jungle item, and you don't take Retribution, you take Purify, and, play normally. But otherwise, let's go ahead and get into it. The enemies I'm lined up against are Kagura, Alucard, Yisunshin, Uranus, and Karina. And on my team, we have a Lunox, a Hellcurt, a Valir, a Franco, and of course me as Granger. So as I spawn in, the first thing I'm going to do is buy the jungle item, the Jungle Hunter's Knife. I'm going to also recommend Nimble Blade. I had a second thought, so this is why you see the screen kind of stuttering, flickering here. I had a second thought, you know what, maybe this game is easy enough that enemies doesn't look like a very invasive type of enemy, so maybe I can get the 3rd tier. But then I thought about it, it's like, that's not going to be worth it because this game might be over fast if I get fed mid-game. And keep in mind I have Bounty Hunter, so my mid-game is only going to be that much stronger. And the first thing that I guess I want to, emphasize with you guys is that last hitting is extremely important with Granger, or else you're going to get so far behind it's not even going to be funny. And you can last hit with a skill or with a basic attack in Mobile Legends, so it's okay if you do either or. Now, I have Retribution ready, and I'm going to be stealing this monster from Karina. And if she gets close and tries to, do some damage to it, I'll just use Retribution, still steal it from her, and then aim that skill. She almost died right there. But this is one of the reasons why aiming is extremely important with Granger. So, next thing's up. I begin to farm properly, remember last hitting, even letting the minions, battle out a little bit, staying in the kind of zone where you can last hit as much as you can. That's going to be extremely important. And then the next thing is, of course, after missing your skills on the crab, please don't do that. Make sure you have Retribution ready, or, very close on cooldown. And otherwise, what I'm doing right now is, farming, essentially. What you do with any other marksman early game that's actually strong enough to jungle by themselves early game, like Granger. Now, right here I'm just shooting bullets at the grass because I knew Karina was there and she's going to try to, sneak up on me and try to kill me, even though she does no damage this early in the game, so it's kind of funny. But just a reminder that I really am trying to, keep the last hits at all times. I may fail at some points, later on in the game. It doesn't matter as much mid-game, but I keep on trying to do my last hits, especially with Granger, because he's gonna, really need that boof, that buff. Now, here is the danger of upgrading Retribution to, a tier 2. The danger lies in that if you escape out of the brush like I did, by the way, this is when you use your ultimate, and it still didn't kill her. But anyways, as I was saying, if you use your skill 2 to, escape out of the brush, but the jungle monster's inside the brush, your skill 2 is going to hit the enemy hero. And that's just how it works. And unfortunately, I can't do anything about that. These two guys ganked us, and you know, I was still safe in my tower, but Alucard went in for the dive. A little bit more, just a little bit more, and he would have died to minion damage, honestly. Or one more tower hit. So it was a risky move for him, but well worth it. He got himself 2 kills out of that, so that's great for him. Most of the heroes on the enemy team are heroes you can, you know, work your distance around. They're not really good at closing gaps, so that's really good, you know, for me. Very low CC is what I'm trying to say. I will also be speeding up, you know, parts where I'm talking or where I'm silent and there's not much going on in the gameplay. Now that I have the crab again, we're going to try to, you know, bully Karina a little bit more. Mid lane is kind of busy right now, but I guess while we're at it, I can talk about, you know, his passive and stuff. Obviously, you see that every time I shoot something, my bullet bar is, you know, reduced by 1, and you know, every time I shoot bullets, my skill 2 has a lower cooldown. That's kind of just how he works. He's like a mix between Harley and Cyclops, honestly. And his ultimate's kind of like Kimmy's. Now, Alucard is going to dive me right here because he's low on health. He thinks he can, you know, recover it all, but nah, not this time. That was kind of like my vengeance for him. So, the problem I have with Granger, guys, is that when Granger is on a losing team, on the losing side, he sucks hardcore at keeping towers alive. So, you know, at clearing minion waves is what I'm trying to say. The fact that he does damage on 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 enemy makes it really hard for you to clear multiple waves where there may be 2 or 3, you know, clobbered up, you know, grouped up minions, and that can be really annoying late game because it basically means you need another marksman to do the job of a marksman, while this guy can be more of an assassin slash mage, just physical. Now, if you see the team fight going on, you know, Franco's going at it. He's going pretty much ham. And when you use your ultimate, you know, try to reposition yourself in the way where you're not gonna, you know, miss your ult as much, but, you know, get used to it. This is my 3rd game with him, and I don't feel like I did too bad, honestly. Here's Kagura's umbrella, so, you know, I'm just escaping that damage from it, and, you know, now, if you look at the map closely here, I'm actually going to pause it right here. You see Karina's trying to, you know, curve around and trying to kill us. You're going to see something interesting happen right there. And ta-da! I died. But the point is, we got a really good outcome out of that. We killed 2 of their mage and their tank. Now it's just Karina with very low health and then Yusunshin with, you know, full health, but it basically means we kind of saved each other. Now if you look at the items that I got, I have Bloodlust Axe ready. Bloodlust Axe is basically my core sustain item now. And what this is going to allow me to do is to last longer in 1v1 or teamfight situations in general. I'm just going to farm this buff real quick while the teamfight is going on in the mid lane, you know, just to be able to help a little bit more. Nobody's taking it anyways. Now Franco hooks Kagura, so that's really good. We managed to kill her. This is the first kill, or no, the second kill, I'm sorry about that. The second kill I get. The more kills I get, the better it goes for me because of bounty hunters, so just keep that in mind. Now you're going to see a really interesting play out here, okay? They're both almost full health, and they're trying to chase me and kill me. Now this is where my ultimate, the spell vamp, and everything comes into play. Honestly, they can't kill me. The dashes, the ability to reposition yourself is kind of like Carrie. You know, the problem with Carrie is that you really can't focus on her because she just keeps on moving around like a really slimy character in general. So Granger is similar in that matter where, despite what Yusunshin says, it's just the way you play him. Now if you pay attention, you see that I got Blade of Heptases next. This is going to help my skill damage overall, but it also becomes a semi-dual role support item. These two guys don't kill me, again because of the ability to reposition myself, and that's just going to help me tremendous amounts. Hellkurt dies, he kind of sacrificed himself for me, but that's okay with me because now I can kill Uranus and I have Valir supporting me in the back. That's 5 kills, okay? We're almost at the limit. Now, I noticed that Alucard is, fighting a little bit in the mid lane against my Valier. And so I'm going to try to go support my Valier, although I do think he's going to die since this Alucard is good at diving. What I'm going to do is, try to bait the Alucard to dive me and hopefully survive, although I didn't, but I did get that kill because Franco is actually good and, stunned him in the tower. I'm going to go straight for the buff, again, because nobody's taking it. Now if you pay attention to the map again, you'll see Franco is actually calling for some help. I'm just clearing the wave real quick to get as much gold as I can. But Franco's requesting backup to kill Yisanshin. And that's something I can take advantage of because I tell him to attack and then we just kill him. He gets the kill in the end anyways, but that's not his fault. He didn't mean to, obviously. And all we're going to try to do is push this lane as much as we can, honestly. If nobody comes, of course we're going to steal some jungle while we're at it. You notice that Granger's basic attacks are actually doing over 1.8k now. And that's basically mid-game. We're at over 10 minutes. So this is his strongest point in the game. This is where he's going to begin to one-shot a lot of heroes. And where he becomes really dangerous. I'm going to use my ult on Alucard to lower him down a little bit. And hopefully he can, die. Hellkurt didn't have to come in, but I guess he wanted to, provide a sacrifice because, I am a sacrifice lord. The Ascension's going to try to come and, kill me, but I'm way too fed, and the gap between us both is, too big for him to cover up in raw damage and lifesteal. I also got Malefic Roar, so that's going to help me push towers a little bit more because he sucks at pushing. It should not take a fed marksman this long to kill a freaking tower, man. Now, if his bullets could hit the tower, that would be something else. I would actually appreciate that. I will not sell my jungle item until I actually get the chance to basically sell it and buy my last item. You can kind of see there from that last clash the amount of power his ultimate has in AoE type situations. It's enough to cripple enemies to basically being one shot by anybody else on your team with that type of AoE skills. In this case it was Valier. Right here I think Franco's idea was to search for Yisanshin, but I think he managed to escape before we could get to him. So now I've sold the item. And if you paid attention, it went from 724 damage to about 790 damage physical stat, so it is a boost in the end, but however, it's not worth it if you can't buy Hunter Strike immediately. And why Hunter Strike over, Blade of Despair? Mobility. That's why. This guy needs to maintain his mobility. The faster he is, the better he is at killing. Although that makes him harder to control, it's worth it in the end. At this point, I'm just using my ultimate to, bully people, but don't do that if you're falling behind. Try to aim it a little bit more. Alucard came in from the side here, but he messed up. Valier managed to use his ultimate right on time. And Karina also is going to suffer a horrible defeat here because she didn't do the proper thing, which is save her skill 1 immediately after ulting me. So that killed her in the end. And not like it matters anyways, I do skill damage. I'm the wrong target basically. She should have gone after somebody like Lunox while she was in dark ultimate mode. Now I'm going to try to bully Sunshin again with my ultimate just to try to deter him. And it works. He has to recall and he can no longer save his base. After this I just basically shoot the base and ta-da, voila, a Granger gameplay. Everything afterwards I'll show you guys. And I guess it'll work fine. It's not, I guess, the craziest of gameplays, no savages or anything, but it's just a run through of why my build works the way it does. It's basically maximum penetration for towers or enemy heroes and a little bit of AoE support with that, Heptases in there. So it's kind of like, in a sense, kind of like building, Divine Glaive or Devil's Tears, whatever it's called nowadays, on a mage. Essentially, I'm playing him like a mage, like I would play Harley, like I would play Cyclops, always maintaining distance between myself and the enemy, but at the same time always trying to damage them with my skills. That is what it is in a nutshell. And after this, all I'm going to play for you guys are maybe random clips of clashes that you guys can see, you know, how I reacted in different situations from ganks and stuff, in different gameplays. You know, the first two that I lost, which you learn more from losses than you do from wins, honestly. But I guess it just goes to prove the point that, you know, he's not a bad hero, he's just not my style, because in my opinion, marksmen need to be able to defend a tower late game or mid game if you're fed enough, and, you know, clear the wave enough for somebody to, you know, help and, you know, survive. But he cannot do that, and that's why I don't like him. It does not mean he sucks, he's obviously really strong. It just means that when you pick him, you need someone who can actually wave clear in case of emergencies. So with all that said, thanks for watching, guys. Zero out.